were the worst kids in the history of the whole world. They lied, stole, and smoked cigars. Even the girls. They talked dirty and hit little kids. And set fire to the Fred Shoemaker's old broken down tool house.
And that's not all. Somebody sent 5 dozen donuts for the firemen, and the Herdmans ate them all. And what they couldn't eat, they stuffed in their pockets and down the front of their shirts.
And they wrote this really, really dirty word on the back of Nan Waddle's favorite turtle. So now Nan can't bring Twine to see a pet show. Her mother won't let her.
What was the word?
Oh.
And that's not all. They did it with fluorescent paint, so it glows in the dark. When you can't even see the turtle, you can still see the word.
And they put a whole bunch of tadpoles in the school drinking fountain. Miss Barnes swallowed 2 or 3 by mistake. Somebody yelled, "Mildred, stop! You're drinking tadpole!" But it was too late.
Did she get sick?
Not right away.
And that's not all. Now I'm going to tell you about the Christmas pageant and what they did to that. Well, there were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogene, Claude, Ollie, Leroy, and Gladys. They went through the whole wheelchair Wilson school like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. And they went around town the same way, stealing things, tearing things up, and whamming kids, so it was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, because there are no Herdmans there. And Jesus loves us, as they say, who keeps them miles away.
That's my little brother Charlie. That's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked us what our favorite thing about church was. Charlie said, "No Herdmans." Of course, that made the Sunday school teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and feeling good, but old Charlie told the real truth, no Herdmans.
I don't care if that's what everyone else said. That's what they really thought. The main good thing about church is that the Herdmans aren't there. Ever.
Well, that's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
Ralph's big and Ralph's big, yeah.
That doesn't make any difference. Life isn't big, but she's mean and she's fast and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, I actually didn't plan on going. You know how crowded it always is. They could use my seat. I'll just stay at home, put on my bathrobe, relax. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
It's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
Oh, why don't you Joseph? Elmer Hopkins would pay you $1 for Joseph. Elmer's sick of being Joseph. Just because his father's an understudy, nobody wants to be Joseph.
No one wants to be in this.
What are you going to be this year?
Always in the angel choir.
Well, why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that is not a serious drawback. The way in a manger always sounds like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, song choice, bathrobes or bed sheets. Come on, let's go watch TV.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to make sure everyone has a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, of course. I mean, she directs the pageant. She runs the potluck supper. She's chairman of the bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, I saw George at the drugstore this morning. He said that his wife broke her leg. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up till the first of the year.
The first of the year? Why, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas.
Well, she's in charge of the pageant, and she's in charge of the bazaar. I mean, I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all of those things?
Yes, I'll take over the bazaar now, if you'll do the potluck supper. I don't know what in the world we think about the pageant though, unless, how about Grace?
Well, I can't do it, Irma. I've got company all Christmas week, but how about Grace?
Bob,
Yes?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you call four-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that would ever happen to it. It's always the same old choir, the same old Mary and Joseph, and that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
I'll tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them that we must choose our Mary carefully because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
Yes, I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph and that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. That's how I explain that.
I thought Miss Armstrong was in traction. How can she talk on the phone if she's in traction?
What do you think traction is?
Like, would they put you to sleep?
No such luck. Beth, we need salt, pepper, and napkins.
And I always tell them that there are no small parts, only small actors.
You will leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy Herdman stole my lunch. Again.
Well, how can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I'll go get it.
You'll have to get someone to push the baby angels on. Otherwise, they'll get in each other's way and bend their wings. Bob could do that. He could keep an eye on the shepherds, too. Oh, another thing about the angel choir. Please don't let them wear lipstick or any eyeshadow or makeup. They think that just because it's a play that they have to wear lipstick and it always just looks awful. So please don't let them wear it.
There's someone at the door, Helen. I have to go.
Make
Someone
sure
at the door,
that they
Helen.
know.
I'll talk to you later. Yes, I'm coming.
Lady, can you get me some supper? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sake, it's you.
Well, I was getting very lonely at the table.
I suppose Helen is very lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
Let me guess, she told you about no small parts, only small actors.
You get someone to shove the baby angels on and make them shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
And Grace, don't just get anybody's baby for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two if you can. That way, if one turns out to be fussy, you can always just switch them.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think of problems. Of course, this year there wasn't gonna be any problems. My mother didn't count on the Herdmans. Well, that was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, you give me my lunch back.
Sure, kid, here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't here.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right. It was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day. Well, guess what? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want at Sunday school.
Oh, yeah? What kind of dessert?
All kinds, like Twinkies and big wheels. And,
Who gives it to you?
the minister?
Is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh? That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next day, there they were, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant? It's like a play. Like on TV, what's it about?
It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. It's mostly about Mary.
Who's married?
Well, probably. I know part.
Beth, Charlie, you and David come.
He's the best. Have you guys met him?
decide who will play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. Of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always says? There are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what she always says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Well, don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means that the short kids have to be in the front row of the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It really means that even the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Well, actually, Alice, that's what you think. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think it means the short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, will you just step out in the hall and see if anyone else is coming?
Yes, Miss Bradley.
So all of you little kids will play our angels, so please remind your mothers that you'll need bed sheets. And even the angel choir will need bed sheets as well. So have your own baskets. What's the matter? Oh, well, let's make some room there for the Herdmans. Now what happened to Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
All I did, I just said hi, Beverly, and she just left.
I see. Well, will someone please tell Beverly about the rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? Plan to be here for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick. We didn't start yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, how would you all think about Mary? We all know what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and gentle and kind. And the person who plays Mary should try to be that kind of person. Do I have any volunteers for that part? Did you have a question, Imogene?
No, I want to be Mary. And off over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, I'll just make a list of volunteers for these parts, and we'll all decide who it should be. Ralph Herdman. Who else would like to be Joseph? Elmer, did you raise your hand?
No.
On, just raise your hands. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Very well. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. Now, Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. What other names can I put on my list? Janet, Roberta, Alice, don't you want to volunteer?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary!
Shut up, Gladys. I want to be Mary. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys. Of course, they don't have to be, and we could always...
Oh, I'll be a wise man! Me too. Claude, you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand.
What's a wise man? Just raise your hand.
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord brought the good news to the shepherds. There, we do have some volunteers after all. Yes, Hobie, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I just want to say I can't be a shepherd. We're going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered.
My mom doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said she don't want me to be a shepherd. I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Sherman hits too hard.
What? Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the fields and tells them Jesus is born.
And hits them.
Elmer, that's ridiculous. And I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now that's all for today, boys and girls. You can go. But I expect to see everyone here on Wednesday at 6:30. Alice, what is wrong with you?
Ow! That hurts! Get off of me!
No,
Miss
Alice.
Bradley, get off of me!
Come on, Alice.
I don't know. I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be Mary in the Christmas pageant. And if you open your mouth and raise your hand, you'll wish you did it. And I said, but I'm always Mary in the Christmas pageant. She said, Alright then, and next spring when the pussy willows come out, I'll shove a pussy willow so far down your ear, nobody will be able to reach it. It'll grow and grow and grow and grow, and you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush hanging out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
Oh yes, she would. Herdmans will do anything. Just watch. She'll do something horrible and ruin the whole pageant, and it's your mother's fault.
Jane, Edna McCarthy, did you hear about the... Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else would all 6 of them end up in the Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, or Miss Logan, I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be Mary in the Christmas pageant, and is that a fact? All 6 of them? Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of a child is that to be Mary, the mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm shut-in and he wasn't visiting me.
And I said, why don't you just let them hand out programs at the door and Bruce is all, but we never have programs for the Christmas pageant. Well, then print some up.
If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. Never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me, Grace. I'm on your side. The car is over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who went on a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind to do the best I could under the circumstances. But now, I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands and nobody else did.
Yes, Grace. The car's over there.
You're going to help me.
What does that mean?
You have to go. The inn is back here off stage, and the shepherds all come in and gather around the manger.
Where do the shepherds come from anyways?
What's an inn? It's like a motel. People go to spend the night. What people? Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel?
Shut up, Ollie. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning.
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this Christmas pageant is, so I guess I better read it to you.
I don't believe that. Do you? They've never heard the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they've never been to church in their whole lives. So your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. So Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child. Pregnant. She was pregnant. All right. We all know Mary was pregnant.
I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. Well, she was. I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
My God, they didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with him that he didn't tell them? Her pregnant and everything.
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in a bureau drawer.
Well, there you go. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed, only Ollie was in it and he wouldn't get out. He didn't really like Gladys. Right, didn't like Gladys.
That's pretty smart of Ollie, not like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
It said, and there she wrapped them up in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tightly in large pieces of materials to make them feel cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
The child welfare at our house every 5 minutes. There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds, keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord appeared to them in the glory of...
Shazam!
What?
At Black Knight, horror vengeance, the mighty Marvel!
I have no idea what you're talking about, Gladys.
The mighty Marvel, out of the Black Knight, horror vengeance, and amazing comics.
This is the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? Out of Black Knight, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
And there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense
What's that?
and myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things, spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare? The wise men?
Well, they were kings, and they were sent...
Well, it's about time somebody important shows up. If they're kings, they can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was, well, he was the main king, and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My God, he just got born. They're going to kill a baby?
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill a baby and he isn't even in the play?
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And he says, go get me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's the king and all.
But then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod. I'm not going to be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod.
No, Joseph kisses shepherds together and they go after Herod. Pow, pow, pow. See? The good one went in. And it's going to be me. And I'll get killed.
Forget about Herod. There is no Herod.
And I'm going to with the baby till the fight's over.
Somebody ought to fix the innkeeper. Gladys, you wipe out the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I wouldn't just hang around in the barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I would throw somebody out. I tell them, I've got this baby and it's the middle of winter, so they get out and move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I'd send an angel after him. She could just point her electric finger at him and turn him into a pile of ashes. Yeah, Zach. What's the name of this play? She never said.
Christmas pageant.
That's no name. That's what it is. I know a name. I'd call it Revenge of Bethlehem. That's stupid. Wrong.
Revenge at Bethlehem, the Herdmans thought the Christmas story came right out of an FBI file. At least they picked the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, and not the baby Jesus. The baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said that she didn't want Eugene's hands on him, so we didn't have a baby, and that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch up a baby, even if it was the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It's not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogen curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't even wine. It's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal, too. If you shake the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And if you go into the ladies' room, the air is all blue, and Imogen Herdman is sitting there in the Mary costume smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down for what?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid Society and anyone else who wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turns out to be a big mess.
Beth, will you and Alice please come up here so we can get started? All right, now this is our last rehearsal, and we're going...
Grace! I don't mean to bother you, but I just wanted to tell you that we're all in the back making applesauce cake, and we'll try not to interrupt your... dress rehearsal.
It's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a baby a month or so ago? A little girl?
Yes, she's 3 weeks old and she is just so
Well,
cute
I wonder
and
how it would
tiny.
be if I were to call your niece and ask if we could borrow.
Grace. No. I would make up some lie and tell you that the baby is sick or cranky or something. But the truth is that that baby is perfectly happy and healthy and beautiful. And we all want her to stay that way. So I certainly won't be handing her over to Imogene Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
You can have my little brother for Jesus.
I didn't know you had a new baby, David.
He's not new. He's 4 years old, but he's double jointed, so he can probably scrunch up.
Oh, well, I don't think.
I can get us a baby.
How are you going to do that?
There's always 2 or 3 carriages outside the supermarket. I'll just get one of them.
Imogene, you can't just walk off with somebody's baby. It's okay. We'll forget about the baby. We'll just use the doll.
Yeah, that's better anyways. It all can't bite you.
And Imogene, you know Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these. If I don't keep something in them, they'll grow together.
We won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you to do?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys?
She probably did it with an ice pick. I bet Imogene's ears will turn black and fall off.
Well, we'll find something smaller. Now, is that your costume? Is that what you're going to wear? You're all supposed to have your costumes on today.
We can't find my robe. My wings got all bent. Janet's got my robe. On that it doesn't have any white sheets. Can we see? Butterflies, flowers, butterflies, flowers, butterflies, flowers. I haven't got any costume. I've never been a shepherd before.
You gotta wear your dad's bathrobe. That's what I have to do.
He hasn't got a bathrobe.
Then what does he hang on the house then?
His underwear?
All right, pretend you're wearing your costumes. Yes, we are going through the whole thing. Now everyone go where you're supposed to be, and we'll start with the shepherds. Just read the last few words, Maxine.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds!
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them and... Shazam!
No, Gladys.
At night, horrible visions, divine marvel!
No. Go on, Maxine.
A multitude of the heavenly hosts.
Music, angels. Music, wise men.
I got the baby here. Don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
No, no, no. You all don't say anything. Mary and Joseph don't say anything. You just sit there, make a lovely picture of Christmas and what it means to put it all back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel tells me what to call the baby. I would have named him Bill.
Oh, what a horrible thing to say!
What angel was that? There's angels all over the place. Was that Gladys?
No, Gladys brought the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah, unto you a child born!
Unto me, not them. I'm gonna have the baby.
No, no, no. That just means that Jesus belongs to all of us. Unto all of us a child is born.
They didn't let Mary say anything. What did the angels do? Just walk up and say, name him Jesus.
Yes.
I know what the angel said. She said his name should be Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
My God, he'd never get out of the first grade if he had to remember that.
Miss Bradley, what should we do? Should we start over?
5 minutes, Maxine. 5 minutes.
We never did start over. And we never did go through the whole thing. 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Imogene Herdman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. When Mrs. McCarthy went into the ladies' room and saw the smoke, she called the fire department, and they came right away.
Fire! There's a fire!
baby out of the building and dragged a fire hose through the whole church to find no fire. The only thing they found was the applesauce cake that burnt up all in the kitchen. Of course, all the ladies were mad about that, and Mrs. McCarthy was mad, and my mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke? Because it wasn't a little smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now look, the church is crawling with firemen, the parking lot is full of baby angels crying, and shepherds climbing all of the fire trucks and half the neighborhood. Did you know it was cigar smoke?
No, Grace, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Alice Wilnokin's mother was mad, and my mother is mad, and Reverend Hawkins said that he had no idea what to think.
I've been on the telephone all day, and I still can't make heads of it. Some people say they set fire to the ladies' room. Some people say they set fire to the kitchen. Vera Winkelkin says all they do is talk about sex and underwear.
That was totally part of talking about underwear. And they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen where that applesauce cake burned up.
Well, the whole church is in an uproar. I don't know. Jesus said, "Suffer the little children unto me." Well, I'm not sure he meant the Herdmans. Grace, don't you think we should just cancel this whole pageant?
I bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
We could blame it on the fire. It makes a good excuse.
I bet that was Edna McCarthy's idea.
Everyone seems to think that this whole thing is just going to be a
Disaster? Well, they're wrong. This is going to be the best Christmas pageant ever.
But Grace, I don't think anyone's going to come to see it.
Neither did I, but we were wrong. The very next day, the church was full. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Now watch your step.
Can't even see where I'm going. Now, I don't know what in the world you expect me to do with this thing.
I thought it might look like a palm tree. I can see now that it doesn't. I don't know what in the world is going to happen tonight. It's might be the first Christmas pageant in history, where Joseph gets in a fight with the shepherds and Mary runs away with the baby. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world in their basement putting on bed sheets.
I mean, our kids.
We're here.
Well, it's getting late. Go put your costumes on.
It's just gonna be awful, you know? They look like trick-or-treaters, all fastened together with safety pins and wearing their moldy old sneakers, and Mary and Joseph, they look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were, Mary and Joseph. They were refugees in a way. They were a long way from home, didn't have any place to stay, didn't know anybody. They were probably cold, tired, hungry, and a little messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure were messy.
Oh dear, do you think I should?
I think you're worried too much. Now, I push the baby angels on stage, get the shepherds their crooks, and then push them on stage. Where do I do all that?
Just follow this script.
Baby angels, shepherds, wise men. Now, it doesn't seem to say when the fire engines come in.
Whoa. We all come out here, please. I just want to see how you look. You all have your costumes on? Gladys, where's your halo?
I can't bear it. Listen, I ought to say something that has the baby change. While they all get up, his parents ought to say, baby, they didn't even know. I ought to tell him it's Jesus, and I ought to tell him where he is.
No, you tell them, unto you a child is born, and that is all you tell them. Now, I want you all to go backstage and try to be quiet as people are coming in. And good luck.
Miss Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
Break a leg! Yes, I know that, Alex.
actual saying. It does not mean to break a leg, your own or anyone else's.
And Imogene, try to remember that as a baby. For tonight, anyway, it's the baby Jesus.
A decree went out that all were to be taxed. Joseph went to Bethlehem with Mary his wife, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son and wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. There were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And suddenly there was a multitude of the heavenly host, saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among men."
Echoing their Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Leroy's got? It's a ham? A ham? I bet they stole it.
No, I think it's a ham from their welfare basket.
You mean it's their own ham? They must really hate ham.
Even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they ever give away in their whole lives.
Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary had kept all of these things and pondered them in her heart.
Irma, could you believe that was Imogene Herdman and the rest of them? I didn't think I'd be saying this, but this was the best Christmas pageant we've ever had, and I think it was them. Could that be?
I always get so weepy about the pageant with the carols and the children and all, but you're right. This is the best one, and it should have been the worst.
There was just something different.
Well, the angel of the Lord.
Well, but I like that. She had lots of spirit. Most of the time you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. Well, I've got to find Grace and tell her.
It's only now that I wish I would have borrowed Eugene to be baby Jesus.
Well, who was the baby Jesus?
It was all.
I don't think so, Irma. That was no doll.
Well, it did seem pretty real.
It did seem real, as if it might have happened that way. Imogene birthing the baby, and we all thought the pageant was about Jesus. That was only part of it. It was about a new baby and his mother and father who had no place to go, no money, and nobody knew. And they arrived front east, like my uncle from New Jersey, so much friends. And the wise men bringing such sensible gifts. After all, they couldn't eat frankincense. And Gladys, go see them, they're in the barn. So the shepherds didn't have to stumble all over the countryside. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogene. For her, the wonder and mystery, as if she just caught on to what Christmas was all about. After the pageant, we had a huge party in the basement. But the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't drink any hot cocoa, they didn't take all the cookies, they didn't even take their candy canes.
Well, I guess that's about it. Any kids left downstairs?
No, they're all gone. You know, you have your bathrobe on. You aren't going to wear it, are you?
Why not? Maybe somebody will think I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken for a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Yes, you would. When it was all over, some old lady came up and hugged me because I was a shepherd. Should I take this ham?
It's the Herdmans' ham from their welfare basket. But Leroy said it's a present. You don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? They must hate ham.
You and Alice won't again.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
It's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie.
It came to pass in the days and there were shepherds divided, and multitude praising God, and bringing in tidings of great joy. Hey! 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 Unto you a child is born! Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare Him new. Let heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.
Mr. Tippett, would you come up here, please? Everybody give Mr. Tippett a big round of applause. So, Sam, you come up here too. So, Mr. Tippett and Sam, these are our directors for this show, and this is our last public performance. So we just wanted to say a huge thank you to you guys. We have some gifts. This show would not have been possible without these people. I know our entire cast and crew thanks you. I specifically want to thank you guys a lot. You all have made my last year doing this a great experience. So big round of applause for these guys. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.